Welcome to another edition of the Nerds Delight podcast. I'm your host today, JayRow.
With Crump Casso.
Welcome. Once again, we're back at it again.
Sir.
Our next episode for tonight is going to be about gaming. This is the near and dear subject to my heart because I love video games. And, is this something that you love as well, man?
Gaming is life.
You sound like an infomercial saying gaming is life.
which is crazy. It was weird because I went for a very long time. I went years without a system. We can get into that later, but I went years without a system. Yeah.
Now it's crazy, man, because I can feel I totally understand. Like, just imagine like having a system and at the end of the day, you don't have it anymore. And then so like you gotta find other things to entertain yourself with.
Yeah.
And when you're so used to gaming, it's hard. It's hard to find other things to occupy your time. Some stuff may not be as fun.
Yeah, it is.
So like let's answer this question then. Let's answer this first question. How'd you get into gaming?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't even know. I really don't know. I don't know. Like, so we had I said we, me, my siblings. We had an NES. That was my first system.
Same. Well, actually, no. They're not. Mine is an Atari.
Oh wow!
Wow. It was an Atari.
Yeah, I missed the Atari. I jumped straight to NES.
I don't know if it counts though because I barely remember any of the. I don't remember any of the games we played on it. Other than I don't remember, but we did have a Nintendo. Okay, so yeah. I'm with you there. So I'll stick to Nintendo. Yeah. But continue. Sorry, my bad.
No, you good. Yeah, that was my first system was a Nintendo, the original Nintendo, the NES. Mm-hmm. And I remember we had several games, but I think the main one, the first one I played, I remember would probably Super Mario, the very first one, Super Mario Brothers, the very first one. That and the Duck Hunt game, because it was the one where you could like hit the select button and go down to it. and we had the gun, so we had the screen like this, like super close to we shooting.
Now Super Mario was your first game. That was actually my second game that I played.
Oh wow!
The first game was Duck Hunt.
Oh wow!
Yo, no doubt, it was the very first game. That's the one that I remember because that duck, and he like, pew pew.
Did you have the Duck Hunt, the game where it was like half Mario, half the Duck Hunt, or did you just straight up have like the regular straight up Duck Hunt?
Straight up. Actually, it was half and half.
Okay, the first one we were playing was Duck Hunt though. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we clicked into it by mistake.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my first one though. It's crazy because for the Nintendo, at the time, it was like the coolest thing in the world. It was like, man, like I said, I played an Atari. It was horrible because it was like you got this square and then you got this joystick and you move. Yeah, and it's like it's kind of weird to play with, but the Nintendo, even though it's like a rectangle and you playing with the two buttons on the side, and it was still easy to control.
Right.
I remember. And did you ever play Ninja Turtles?
I was literally just about to mention that. I was waiting for you to finish, but yeah. Yeah.
One of the games that me and my brother used to play growing up was like we played the Ninja Turtles. It was Ninja Turtles 2D arcade game.
Yep, I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for you to finish so I could bring it up. I was just about to, I don't want to interrupt you, but I was about to ask.
Go ahead.
I don't know how many games y'all had. Like we had at least about 10 games. Like we had a decent amount of games on there.
Yeah, we had about the same, like 10, 15. Yeah, 10 to 15 games.
And I was gonna ask you what your favorite was, and I was gonna say I think my favorite was Ninja Turtles 2. Me and my brother feel that.
But here's the thing though, we didn't have that game.
Oh, you did? Wow.
No, we didn't have it. It was something we used to rent.
Oh,
because we tried, we had an opportunity to get the game, but at the time I wasn't thinking about it, and the game just became hard to find in stores.
Oh, dang.
And so we just missed the opportunity to get the game.
Yeah.
When we used to rent the game, I tell you this crazy story. It's so funny. Obviously, Nintendo doesn't have a save feature.
Right. Yeah.
So we would rent it from our public library. We'd always have our fingers crossed when we go into the library, hoping that it's there. And sometimes it's there, we get it, and we hurry back home and we play it. We play it all day Saturday. We get beat because it's so hard at the time because we're like damn near like between 5 and 7 years old.
Right.
But we still have fun with it, and we have fun with it. We go to bed early on Saturday. We wake up early on Sunday, and we had to go to church. So going to church on a Sunday, so it doesn't give you a lot of time to play the game. So we would wake up probably around like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to play this game. And we sometimes on a Sunday would be our best day because we'll get really far in it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we got to go to church. So we would leave the Nintendo on and then so we'll be in church for like hours, like maybe like 4 to 5 hours tops. And then we come back and we be like, oh man, please do not like start the game over. Please the system don't cut off. And we cut the TV back on because we cut the TV off to make sure so our mom didn't think that we left it running. So we opened the TV back up, we cut it back on, and sometimes it will still be where we pause it, sometimes it'll restart. But long story short, we never beat the game.
Wow.
We never beat the game because at the time it was just too hard, too difficult, and we just unfortunately never got it done. Were you able to beat the game?
Yeah, I beat it more than once. Hey,
oh my goodness, man. Yeah. Damn, I feel left behind.
Yeah. but it makes it funny better. We also had Ninja Turtles 1. Never beat that. That game was
hard.
Impossible to beat.
It was impossible. Like, dude, woo. Oh, and slightly off subject, but not on subject. There's a Ninja Turtles game coming out for the Switch and the PS4. It's in the Xbox. It's called the Cowboy Collection. And that game has all the old games on it.
Oh, wow.
All the old games. So it has like from the most hated Ninja Turtles 1, Ninja Turtles 2, Ninja Turtles, so the arcade game, and then the Manhattan Project. That's the one that me and my brother had. We actually got that one for Christmas. The third one, Manhattan Project. That was a fun game.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one. Mm-hmm. Was it really similar to Ninja Turtles 2?
Or it was similar. It was similar.
Okay, I probably played it at arcades before, but I didn't know. I probably thought it was like a different version of Ninja Turtles 2. I probably thought it was, this must be the arcade version. So it probably was. It was probably the Manhattan Project. I didn't know.
Yeah, but the Manhattan Project was really good. It was really good. And then they had Turtles in Time on the game. Turtles in Time is in the game. And then the one that's on Sega Genesis, Hyperstone Heist, that's on the game. So all these games.
With that one either.
Yeah, all these are on this game that's about to come out this year.
I'm gonna have to cop that in. I might have to cop that.
Yeah, that's kind of dope. It's like it was like my whole childhood flash before my eyes seeing that game coming out.
Yeah, that's kind of dope. I might have to cop that. If it's not too much, I might have to. Yeah.
They said it's $40, so I don't.
I mean, it's not too bad considering everything you're getting.
Oh yeah, compared to these other games that come out for $60, $70.
Yeah, $7. Yeah.
It's a decent price.
Right, and you're getting like 5 games, so
yeah. But I'm so jealous of you, man. You beat this. you beat this game, a game that I could not beat. And me and my brother, we tried, and we just couldn't do it. And it was impossible. Like, cause and my brother was like, he would be like, there'll be times he'll get further than I would because I'll die early and I have to sit there and watch him play. And he's over there killing these stages and stuff. So like, oh my goodness, like, oh my God. And then like he'll end up dying. He got to the last boss before. He got to I think Shredder. Shredder last because he starts making copies of himself and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he died though because his helmet his helmet will pop off and that because the one.
Yeah. But you taking me back right now. I'm getting excited. Yeah, you're right. It's like a clone of him, and you have to keep hitting the real one, and eventually, his helmet will pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the clone's helmet will pop off and it'll knock out easily. But then the other one, the main one, he'll still be there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Yeah, but we would always. I mean, he would die because like I said, I never got to that point. I just sat and watched.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was like because I'd be too impulsive when I play because I sit there like I'd be trying to misjudge hits and I'd be trying to like blaze through the stage instead of taking my time.
Yeah.
And I end up dying. I don't die like early, but I would die quicker than I should.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, if I play this game now, I wouldn't be dying like that.
Right.
Because I'd be a little bit more methodical with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was man. I'm happy for you though. At least y'all beat it though, because I mean, I'm serious. I am jealous, but I'm like, damn, I don't give a damn. But
right. That sucks. Y'all were close. If you got to the point where Shredder was like cloning himself and whatnot, and helmets coming off, y'all was right there.
Yeah,
y'all was right there. Dang.
And we used to be in competition with our cousin. Her name's Malvetta. She used to like always be good at these games and stuff. And we used to get so mad because every time we played games with her, she'd always like do better than me and my brother. And it'd be so annoying because we'd be like sitting there like, watch the master. We're like this. And then like she'd do better than us. She'd do better. Like we used to go over their house and play Sega Genesis. That's how we got into the Sega Genesis. Because they had that. They had I think it was a Tiny Toons game, if I remember correctly. It was do you remember Tiny Toons?
Yeah.
It was a Buster's adventure game kind of thing, but she was the only one that beat it. And I was sitting there like, and everybody else had the hardest time with it. She was the only one that beat it. And then on the Nintendo, we used to play this game called Bucky O'Hare.
I never heard of that.
So, and that game it's based on a TV. It's a very old TV show. I don't think it's a very rare TV show. I don't think a lot of people have heard of it. But yeah, it was pretty interesting back then. But the game was hard.
So what was it like? 'Cause I'm not familiar. Like I never heard of the show.
It's like a space rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a space rabbit. He's got his own little crew. This boy, like an Earth boy, he joins their crew, like because I guess they have like a gateway to his room, and he joins the crew with them, and and then the game you play with the whole crew, but then the crew gets captured and you end up playing with just Bucky, and then it's pretty good. It was just hard. That game was just hard. It's a platform. It's like Mario-esque kind of game, but you can shoot though. Like when Mario gets his flame,
yeah,
shoot. Like it's just like how that game. I mean, it's like basically you have a permanent weapon. That Mario, like, because if Mario get hit, he loses the weapon.
Loses it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. It sounds pretty dope.
What was another Nintendo game you used to play?
The next one comes to mind, other than Ninja, I said would be this game we had called Jackal. I don't know if you're familiar.
I have never heard that.
Yeah, it was like a military game. It was like it's like you be like a little like almost like a little Jeep, like a little tiny Jeep, and you would and they would have like little or like army men or soldiers that would come out and they would shoot at you. And they would have other like little tanks or like stationary like turrets and stuff that would be shooting at you. And they might have like little helicopters or airplanes that would drive by. And it was like it's kind of that wasn't platform necessarily. Because they were like a map. Like you weren't just driving like sideways. And it wasn't like the what do you call like it wasn't like was it Andromeda? It wasn't like where you like them like them like plane or spaceship games where you just kind of like flying. It wasn't like that.
Oh, you mean like a what's it called? Like on top kind of camera view kind of game?
So, right. So it wasn't on top camera view, but it wasn't like the games we have like a spaceship and they like it's just constant enemies coming at you. It wasn't like that. Okay. It actually was a map that you had to like drive around and like.
Oh, okay. So it's like you own a battlefield or wherever you are or a base, and you gotta follow the map to where the destination is.
Yeah. So yes, it really was like that. So you had to like follow like the road or like drive around. Like it was pretty dope. And they had like tanks come and shoot at you and stuff like that. But it was dope too because you could get like I don't say power up, but you could get like different weapons. So you always start with the basic gun.
Yeah.
But if you blow up other buildings, like a military man that you could tell he was like on your side.
Yeah.
He would hop in your like Jeep, and then you like have a missile. And if you get like another dude to come in Jeep, you got like a missile that like split in two. And then I think the most you could do was like a missile that shot and then it blew up. It was like scattered like 4 different directions. So that was dope. So you could like upgrade like your like your gun or whatever. And of course, if you die, you start back with the basic gun. Mm-hmm. That was a dope game. It was kind of hard, but we beat that too. But it was challenging. It wasn't like impossible, but it was challenging. But it was a dope game. That was a dope game.
It reminds me of Contra. You heard of Contra?
Yeah, I never played Contra though. I have heard of Contra.
Yeah, the only thing different with Contra is that you're just using a person, and it's not a top view. It's like a side scrolling view.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I never played it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. But this game looks like it seems like it's kind of it has like a similar feel to it because then you get power-ups and the more weapons you have and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. It's pretty dope.
I'm trying to think of another Nintendo. Do you ever play pinball games on the Nintendo?
Nah.
Yeah, my dad used to love this game. It was called Pinbot.
I never heard of it.
That game used to get on my nerves. I hate it because pinball games at the arcade were cool, but it never came close to like a side, like those action games like Turtles and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But when that game, because it was on sale at our local library, and my dad he loved that game. He played that game all the time. He used to beat it constantly. Me and my brother used to get annoyed with it because every time we try to play it, we weren't good at it.
Right.
And like when we ain't good at a game, we ain't trying to play it. So it's gonna sit there and collect. It's gonna sit there and collect dust. So I remember like the Mario games were fire too, though, because I remember the first one was we got really far in it, but we never beat it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mario 2 was funny. I like Mario 2.
Mario 2 was fun. It was kind of slept on. I didn't have it, but I played it at like a cousin's house or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Yeah. I thought it was kind of slept on, but it was definitely fun. Yeah.
Everybody loved Mario 3.
Right. 3 was fire.
Yeah. Everybody loved Mario 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 changed the game, especially
it did.
3 changed the game because that's when you could fly with the
rat. Yeah, right. 3 was fire. Yeah. It was fire.
Yeah, I enjoyed that game. That was like that game. It was like kind of what made me fall in love with Mario too.
Yeah.
So like with that, and then also there was some other games we used to play too. Oh yeah, they had a Ninja Turtles game that we used to play. It was called Tournament Fighters. It was a fighting game.
I never heard that.
Yeah, it was a fighting game that we used to play. I was surprised because normally with Nintendo games, I never even seen fighting games before.
Yeah.
And when we played that game, at first I was turned off by it because of I didn't want to play. I thought it was like an adventure game. I thought it was like doing like a story, but no, it's like it's a straight up action game straight up fighting game that you're fighting against other players and stuff. And it was pretty cool. I wasn't that good at the time, but it was pretty fun.
It sounds different.
Yeah, it's different. And that's another game that's on that Cowabunga collection.
Okay.
So yeah, you're gonna sit there. If you get that game, you're gonna have like nostalgia for days right there, boy.
Right.
You ain't gonna run out of memories with that one. Like it's gonna bring all your memories back.
Yeah, I really might get it. Like you said, it's only $40. It's 40 for. First of all, like we said, it ain't 60 or 70 like Zelda games. Plus, you get about 5 games with it, 5-6 games with it. So,
no, it's not just 5 or 6 games. It's coming. I think it says like 13 games total.
I ain't had that many Turtles games on it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like it's the games that are listed. The ones that are listed for you, and it's also the ones that were in the arcade.
Oh,
so like the arcade, like the arcade Ninja Turtles game. So the one that was based on arcade, the Nintendo arcade game.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo arcade game was based on this game in the arcade.
Oh.
So the arcade game, the one that was in stand up with the at the cabinet.
Right.
That was 4 players.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that game is also going to be on the Cowboy Collection.
Wow.
And then also Turtles in Time, which was on the Super Nintendo, was a cabinet game too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be up there too. And that was a 4-player game.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I can't. This basically was a podcast about the deal.
Right, I'm say, we got a topic.
To push that one aside, like What's the most recent game you played?
Okay, so I know the answer to this.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a better answer because the games I have are actually not even newer games, and that's what sucks. Like I hate to sound like cliche, like I'm mentioning old games, but so I'll answer it. But while I answer, I'm gonna try to think of another answer. But the two most recent games I can think of that I played. Oh, actually, I do have one. Okay, I'll just say them all. So, and I know I don't want to push on time too much, so I'll try to rush.
All right, go ahead, do what you gotta do.
The most recent game I played actually is San Andreas, which is crazy because I believe it or not,
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, believe it or not, I've never played it before. Like I've seen it played. Like I've been with my friends in the room, but I never owned it. I never owned the game. I never owned it. So I see my friends playing it. And I think they might have passed me the controller once or twice, so I could mess around and like steal cars or whatever. But I never actually like played it for real. So I actually just bought it recently. So now I'm actually playing for real. So I'm playing that. I just played Mario Kart the other day, which like I said, it's a classic. But the new one, Mario Kart 8.
Oh, the one that's on the Switch?
Yeah, on the Switch, yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a classic. So
for sure.
But as far as I guess newer games, Jump Force. I think I mentioned that to you before.
Yeah, that's the one with the anime characters.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope. It got a lot of like bad like reviews. Like a lot of people hate on it, and I guess I see why. Like the story, like the plot or the story, or whatever, ain't the greatest. It's not. And I feel like it's not. Honestly, it's a very like basic. Like it's very basic. Like all you do is go out and they're like, oh, well, we heard about so and so Naruto or whoever's out there, and then you like show up and you fight them and you recruit them on your team, and it's like a constant. It's not like it's a very basic like storyline, like plot. It's super basic.
So who do you start on? Who do you start as?
So they have you create a character, which I think is dope. I love that. They make you create a character, but I think it's really dope. So you create a character. I wish you had more options. I realize I feel like every option they give you is an option from like another anime character. I wish they had more original stuff. Yeah, so I know it's like
so basically you created your own anime character.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope. You create your own anime character, and that's who you like play as. And then of course you have other characters. Once you start the game, you have other characters you can choose from. But the main character you play as is your created character. That's the main character throughout the storyline. Okay, so I like that. It's like dope because, like you said, you create your own anime character. So I think it's pretty dope. And then you can give them other moves. You can give a person more move sets and stuff like that. And you can unlock more moves and buy more moves as you play the game. Now every move, again, similar to the creating character thing, is a move from another anime character. I wish they had taken some time to create like some original moves. And maybe some original features, like all you can buy. You have a lot of clothes, you have a lot of like scars and makeup stuff you can buy for them.
Yeah,
all of it is over from another anime. So you have like Goku's hair, Naruto's hair.
Oh man, that could have been a little bit more original though.
Right, or they could even take like Goku's clothes and like made them red or black, or made change the color or something. Yeah. But I feel like all of it is from. Like, don't be wrong, it's a lot of it. I mean, because there's a lot of anime out there. Yeah, you get a lot of options, but I hate that it's all from other anime. But it's a dope game. And I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that you're just gonna enjoy it because you get to play as all these different anime characters.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to say it's a bad game because I think if you just play it for what it is, but like I do, I just enjoy it because I can have Goku fight like Yu-Gi-Oh, like yeah. So or Naruto and Goku and Vegeta all fight, whoever. And they got a Luffy on there, like so. I mean, it's dope to play like all these. I don't really play it for the storyline, honestly. Like I don't really.
You just play it for like the fan service,
right? Yeah. So, but if you're looking at it from like I want a really dope game, then the storyline is very heavily lacking. Like you're not gonna do it. But you just play it like you said as a fan of anime, then it's dope.
It seems like you have fun with it, man. It's like because that's like it's like that saying, not everything's for everybody,
right?
And I mean, at the end of the day, like it sounds to me that you enjoy the game. Even though the story lacks, you still enjoy the game.
Yeah, so it's dope. So
it's just like I used to play a game back in the day that I don't think anyone played, but it was one of my favorite games.
What was it?
It was a PlayStation 1 game. It was called Thousand Arms.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah, you probably would never have heard of it. Yeah, it was I had that game for years. I've sold all my games or trade in all my games, but I couldn't part ways with that game. because that game was something like even if I play new games over the years, like PS3 games, PS4 games, and so on, I would still like go back to this game and play it because it was that fun to me. Because the story was fun, the action was fun. It was literally an anime. Like, so basically, like the graphics sucked in the sense of like just traveling through different towns and all that stuff because he was like micro and all that stuff. Yeah. But the game, when it gets to like a fight, it turns into like an anime. So it's like you see the characters and it's like they literally like they're from an anime, and then you're fighting the enemies, and they look like anime characters too.
That's dope.
So the story, and they have voice acting in the game too. So like it was just an enjoyable experience for me, and I thought it was a pretty that was like my kind of like one of my intros into anime at the time, because it was one of the games that I just kind of opened the door for me to be an anime fan.
Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, like we all have our guilty pleasures or games that typically a lot of people wouldn't play or don't play, and it's like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, now you got me thinking about. You made me think about, because I don't know why I thought you were about to say this, and if you said that, I was gonna be like, I had that game too. But now but now you said 1,000 Arms. You said and I never heard of it.
What game were you?
You just made me think about it when you said it. That I had a game on PlayStation 1 that you probably never heard of, and it was called I used to call it Legia. I thought it was Legia, but as I got older, I think it was Legend of Legaia.
I heard of that. Yeah,
you really heard of it before?
Yeah,
it was like an RPG.
Yeah, I heard of Legend of Legaia.
Yeah, and there's you walk around town or like any other RPG, like Final Fantasy or whatever. And the graphics were like, it was PlayStation 1, so it was like really polygon type of whatever when you walk around. Yeah. When the fight scenes came up, the graphics looked a lot better. Like it was 3D, kind of like a Tekken 1 type of graphic.
Yeah.
And it
reminds me of Final Fantasy 7, because that's how Final Fantasy 7 graphics.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy 7 was horrible, like traveling around and stuff. Their graphics are horrible, like block figures and stuff like that. Get into like the actual fight scenes, so they look different.
Right. That's how Legend of Legaia was. And it was dope too, because you would fight like certain monsters, like any other RPG when you wander around the fields or whatever, and somebody pop up. But they had certain monsters that you could actually like kind of catch. I don't want to say kind of like Pokemon, but it was more like if you defeated them, sometimes they would just join you or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could summon them later on when you fight, which I thought was dope. But I think the dopest thing about the game was that the fighting system. So it, like a lot of RPG games, it was like turn-based or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But when you fought, you had to do combinations when you fought. So it wasn't just like attack, item, whatever. It was like
so it was like almost damn real time fighting.
So it wasn't real time, but it was like so say you do choose to attack. So you choose to attack, but then instead of him just like hitting you with a sword or whatever, you hit attack, and then you choose, like they had like a little like maybe like 3 or 4 spots here at the bottom of the screen, and you could choose like punch, kick, dodge, or like up, down, left, or whatever. And then he would just go attack. But if you put in the right combination, you would learn a new move.
So go ahead, finish.
Now, so it was dope. So say like fire punch was up, down, up. If you did up, down, up, he would like hit you 2 times, and then it'd be like new move unlocked, fire punch, and then he would like do like the fire punch. You'd be like, oh, no move. And then once you got it, you got it. Like you didn't have to like after that, it would be like in your artillery or whatever, like fire punch. And or you could your next turn you could do fire punch, or you could try a new combination out.
So you can see if you can unlock a new move.
Learn a new move. Yeah. So it was dope. And then you could like a lot of other games that you could power up, and then it would extend your bar out. So now you can do like up, down, left, right, or whatever. And you might do even bigger with a doper move. But there's a chance you were taking because you don't know if you're gonna unlock something or not. Like you don't know what the combinations are. So I thought it was kind of cool because you never know if you're about to learn a new move or not. So it was a dope concept.
So the game, like you described it. All right. So there's a game that I also put on PlayStation 1. It was called Xeno Gears. And Xeno Gears, you would put in button combinations to do moves.
I didn't know that. I didn't play it.
Yeah, so like you put in button combinations to do moves, and if you put in the right combination, you actually learn a move.
Oh, it's the same thing. That's dope.
Same thing.
Matter of fact,
However,
it might have been the same people. It might have made the same game. I think.
probably Square Enix. It was Square Enix.
Yeah.
So it probably was Squaresoft. They call it Squaresoft back in the day.
Squaresoft, yeah.
So funny thing about that game, I hate that game at first because no, listen, because I didn't get how to do the fights. Like I was confused because I was sitting there like, why am I having so much trouble? And my level is high.
Right. Yeah.
But then come to find out, I wasn't even doing combos. I was just doing basic moves.
Oh.
And I was just doing basic punches, basic kicks, and that was it. But instead of like chaining it up to a combo, I was losing. I was getting my butt kicked all the time. So then I ended up restarting the whole game to see it because I figured out how to get it. And then I was killing the game. I was like, yo, this is a fire game.
Yeah.
And then when you start learning the combinations, man, it's like it just becomes fun.
Yeah.
So that's what that reminded me of. So yeah, sorry to sidetrack, but yeah, that was fun. That was like, but what? So Jump Force, Mario Kart, and
it's like Grand Theft Auto.
San Andreas. Okay.
What are you playing right now? What's something new that you've been playing recently?
Oh, let's see. Devil May Cry 5. That game is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. That game is it's like story is super good. Fighting super good. Have you heard of Devil May Cry before?
Yeah.
So basically this is the one that just recently came out a few years back, and it's really, really good. It's very good. Like the storyline is good, the action scenes are good. Like every character that you play with has their own individual skill set. And it's a cool looking game. It's a very cool looking game. And they make all the moves and stuff look super cool too. And I beat the game twice already. So like, but it's one of those games. It's like I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of Devil May Cry. So like sometimes like if I'm in the middle of a game, I'll just stop what I'm doing and just hop on that game because it's one of those games like I can kind of easily pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
Another game that I'm playing right now is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I heard it was dope.
That game is fire. That game is, it's real good. It's real good. That game, like it really remixes what the older game did good and made it into its own game. And the only bad thing about it is it only covers like honestly like the first couple of hours of the game.
Oh wow.
I mean, they made it into a 40-hour game, but but the original story game, like the one that was on PlayStation 1, they only cover like the first couple hours.
That makes sense then, because I was asking my friend questions about it because he has it. He was telling me the way he was describing it, I was like, man, this sounds dope. And he never played 7 before. Like he missed that whole era. So he missed all the like he just now got on Final Fantasy like probably recently, like on 15. Like so I was like, he missed all the 7 to 8, the 10. He missed all those. So he never played them before, but he was describing it to me. And I was like, man, this sounds dope. So I was asking him some questions about stuff. Yeah. And he was like, no, I haven't seen that person, or I didn't see that. I didn't see this. I was like, they didn't include that in the game. Like, so now what you're telling me makes sense if it's only the first. Yeah, wow. Yeah, because like in the original game, they're in the city. Right. So in the city, they move from the city to other cities. Right. And in Final Fantasy VII Remake, they just stay in the same city. Oh wow. So the whole 40 hours of this game, 35, 40 hours, however long it takes someone to beat it, they're all in Midgar. Wow. But it's good though, because like they give you more detail than the original game did. So a lot of the stuff that was kind of glossed over in the original game is kind of emphasized more on this one. Okay. That's dope. It sounds fire though. Still, even though they didn't cover the whole game, it still sounds fire. Oh, it's good. It's definitely worth a play. It's definitely worth the play. I think you would personally enjoy it. Okay. And it's not like one of those games. And another thing that they changed the combat system, so it's basically a free moving combat system. Wow. So they you remember how the old game was like attack, defend, item, right, and run away. This one is like, you just attack. I mean, you can run away if you want to. You can run as far away from the boss as you want, because I would say it's like open world. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Excuse me. It's not quite open world, but it's kind of.
Yeah, it's like, but it's still like you can contain it. Like it's still like it's a contained space, but you can move around freely.
Okay. Pretty dope. And you still run into bad guys though, like the way you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you don't just run. So when you run into a bad guy, you automatically start to fight.
Okay.
So you don't. So you don't like you hit them and then they go into a different screen altogether.
Right.
This one you're moving through the map and then bang, you get into a fight.
Okay. That's pretty dope though. That sounds dope.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I think you would really, really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then also the last game I've been playing is I don't want to say I don't want to like I mean I'll say it, it's all good. It's Sonic. I'm playing a Sonic game right now. So it's called Sonic Colors.
Is that a newer game or is it
it was a game on the Wii.
Okay.
But they remastered it and put it for the Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox, so on. Okay. But yeah, it's cool. I just feel like the stages are so short though.
Oh.
It don't really feel like, to me, it doesn't feel like a genuine Sonic game. Like to me, because it's not like how the old Sonic games were from Sega Genesis. This one is like you're doing like little levels, and but these little levels is like different. Yeah. But I think you do like 10 of them, and then you get to the boss. So every little stage has its own like 10 levels, and then the last level is the boss level.
Okay.
But the bosses are fun though. When you fight the bosses are fun. So it's pretty good. It's just it's at times it's hard to keep my attention because I'm so used to playing a Sonic game that's kind of quick and you're done.
Yeah.
These are like kind of like it can be kind of taxing because you got to do so much stuff and it's like annoying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that be kind of a little annoying.
However, I am excited to see because I've been here. I mean, I've heard that there's a Sonic game coming out this year that is open world.
I can't imagine that. That's
I can't either.
It sounds like it would be dope though.
Yeah, because it seemed like it'd be something that'd be cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be dope. Wow.
But yeah, it's man, it's a lot of things on the horizon for gaming, man, and it's because like with the new Xbox and then with the Switch riding high right now, and then the PS5, still with the PS4 still going strong.
Yeah,
and it's crazy right now, man. It's like I'm gonna be surprised like how many games we're gonna be having between now and by the end of this year.
Yeah. They just announced Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, the other day.
Snap.
Yeah, I know. You know, I've never played Kingdom Hearts, which is crazy. And I had the system, I just never played it.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, but everybody tells me how fire it was. I'm mad I missed it.
It's good. Actually, you know what? You can actually get Kingdom Hearts on the Switch if you want it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can buy it online. Buy it on the Nintendo store. Mm-hmm.
Is it like online only or is it like
online only? It's online.
It sucks. I really want it, but I know some of that online only stuff. Sometimes it could be like lagging and stuff. Sometimes though.
Yeah, it depends. But the online, I mean, unfortunately, with the Switch, that's the only way you can play it though.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the PlayStation or the Xbox where it comes physically.
Right.
And that's crazy because if you ever decide to get a PlayStation, they have this one that's called like an all-in-one package. It comes with all the games for Kingdom Hearts, all of them, and it's like $30. And sometimes it gets as less as $20.
That's good, really good.
So you got damn near like 8 games in one, and all those games are high quality games.
For $30, that's pretty good.
And they have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 in there, as well as the spin-off games.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that for $30.
No, you can't. It's a pretty good deal.
It is.
I'm over here flabbergasted because I mean, I thought they were done with Kingdom Hearts. I thought after the third one they were done with it.
Yeah.
But to hear you say Kingdom Hearts 4 is confirmed and it's gonna. Did you see the trailer for it?
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it.
How did it look?
It looked dope. I'm not gonna lie, it looked dope. It looked dope. And they didn't show a lot. Like they didn't show a lot, like in terms of like a bunch of characters and nothing like that. It like they're really trying to focus on like storyline. But yeah, it looks like gonna be fire. It looks like it's gonna be fire. Oh and I never even played Kingdom Hearts before, and I'm just like, yo, this game looks gonna be fire.
Oh my goodness! Like I'm over here just thinking about it because I didn't even beat part 3. Because part 3, like it was so different. Like I wasn't enjoying part 3 as much as I enjoyed 1 and 2.
I saw that. Like I was like looking at reviews before, and like everybody agrees that 2 seemed like it was the best one.
Oh, without question. 2 was almost a flawless game.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 was fire. That game was ahead of its time.
Wow.
Like 2, man, they had like the side quests were good, the boss fights were good, the storyline was good. The main character, you can change his gear. Like, it was everything you'd ask for in a game like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But 3 though, 3 just I don't know, man. It just like I guess for me, my issue with 3 was the fact that the whole purpose of Kingdom Hearts was to you have the Disney characters and then you have the Final Fantasy characters.
Mm.
They didn't have any Final Fantasy characters on part 3.
Oh wow.
So like they had the original characters that are in the Kingdom Hearts universe, but they didn't have the Final Fantasy characters though.
Wow.
So I felt like it was a missing element of the game that hurt it.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Because the main character connected with some of the characters from the Final Fantasy series. So and they were in Kingdom Hearts 1, they were in Kingdom Hearts 2, they were in the spinoffs. And but you would think they would be on Kingdom Hearts 3, but it wasn't.
Right. Wow.
But but you got me excited over. I'm over here like giddy, like I'm I'm saying. But Kingdom Hearts 4, like if they're gonna change it and make and just do it better than what they did before for Kingdom Hearts, because remember, I don't know if you remember this. Kingdom Hearts 3 took almost 14 years to finish.
I don't remember that. That's wild.
That's crazy. And it took that long to finish, and it was that bad. It reminds me so much of Game of Thrones, like the last season of Game of Thrones. They took forever to finish that, like 2 years to finish Game of Thrones, and then the last season was trash.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, but everybody told me how terrible that last season was. Everybody agreed that last season was terrible.
Oh my goodness, like you got plenty of time. Like there was a huge break from Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
And that's what you come up with. That's what you show. That's what you bring to the table. I'm like, granted, the game was immersive. It was super big. Like you can do like crazy things in each of the worlds that you go into. Mm-hmm. Like I'll just give you an example. Like in the Toy Story world that you go into, it's super big. It's like humongous. Like you're inside Andy's room. You're outside the house. You go to like the toy store. It's like super, and then everything is big. Like it's immersive, and it's like you feel like you're moving through all these different levels. It's crazy. It was cool.
That's dope.
It just missed certain elements of the story that made it. That I just feel like it wasn't a whole game.
Right. Yeah, so just talking about it, I feel like I really missed out, man. Like everybody played this game except me. Like I really missed out.
Well, hey, you don't have to miss out. It's available for you if you want. If you want to pull that trigger.
Yes, I might have to. I really hate there's a cloud version, like an internet, like an online version, but I might have to do that.
I mean, online versions aren't bad, man. It's just like, again, you just don't have a physical copy.
Right. Yeah.
But you still, because you pay money for it, it's yours.
Right. True.
So, I mean, just food for thought.
Yeah.
True. All right, man. Where can they find you at today?
At Crump Casso, like one word, CRUMPCASSO. That's pretty much pretty much on every platform. Or just go to my website, crumpcasso.com.
Bet. All right, you can find me at JayRow Art, JREAUART on Instagram, and at JayRow on Twitter. All right, man. It's been a great episode of the Nerds Light Podcast.
Yep.
Talk to you soon. Peace.
Next time.